Sometimes, especially his trainer Fred Roach, they usually try to get under the skin and the head of their fighter.
Well, with Brandon, I don't think that'll work. Everybody knows the way Brandon is, and the first time if Manny, which I doubt it, but I don't think Manny will say anything that'll get Brandon to react. But if Freddie does, or anybody in their camp, we're ready for it. Brandon has done it before with many of his opponents, so that doesn't affect him. I think that actually motivates Brandon and pushes Brandon to train harder and prepare himself even better for his opponent. So I think if they say something or do something that's going to get Brandon a little upset, it's going to be in our favor. So I think the whole camp, the whole training, the whole press conference is going to be quiet. It's going to be friendly, respectful, because we got nothing but respect for them. Freddie Roach has been a great trainer for the past 15 years. Manny's been the fighter of the decade, and we got to admire all that.
Okay. A while ago, I was talking with Manny, and he told me that this fight reminds him of the Antonio Margarito bout wherein you were the trainer. Your thoughts about that?
Well, he sure has a similar style, but the only difference is Brandon is 10 years younger. This happened 3 to 4 years ago, where Manny was 4 years younger. He's coming off a tremendous knockout. So all those things are things that he should also think about, because Margarito and Brandon are the similar style, but 10-year difference, and 4 years later, it's going to be a different story.
Okay. Still talking about that fight, Robert. Although you lost that fight, but are you using that as an advantage in your camp, knowing that you were there firsthand? You saw the moves, you saw his strengths, you saw his weaknesses. Will you be using that as an advantage to you, that Margarito fight?
Look, you know what? We won't even see that fight. I'm not even going to see that fight. I think I'm gonna study other fights. I think better fights, more competitive fights that Manny has had against Marquez. Those type of fights. That's probably what we'll be watching more. But I was there, and yes, I seen a tremendous Pacquiao that the world was amazed to what he did to Margarito, who was a lot bigger and stronger, and he was still able to dominate pretty easy. But that was Brandon is 10 years younger, and that was 4 years ago. So that's gonna make a big difference. And I think that if that's what they expect and that's what they think, they're in for a surprise, because Brandon is gonna come in with a game plan that's going to surprise most of the world.
Okay. Lastly, Robert, he's getting the biggest fight purse of his entire career. The problem sometimes with fighters is that once they get millions, they tend to just be contented with the money and not the fight. How are you? Reminding Brandon Rios not to think about the price or the perks or whatever is in store. Just think about the fight.
You know what? I might have to worry about that with other fighters, but with Brandon Rios, I don't worry about that, because for Brandon, it's not about the money. For Brandon, he would fight, Pacquiao for $10,000. That's the way Brandon is. We've had fights in the past where Cameron Duncan is negotiating the purse, the money, and Brandon tells him, accept the fight already. I want to fight. I don't care if you get more money. I just want to fight. I've seen it before. In this fight, before the fight was officially announced, they were going back and forth with purse. The money that Cameron Duncan was asking for, and weeks before, Brandon was already, come on, Cameron, I don't care about the money. Accept the fight. I just want to fight Pacquiao, and it would have been half of what Cameron was able to get for Brandon. So when it comes to money, it's not about the money for Brandon.